everyone. Hope you're doing well. We had a good day yesterday for the trial users. I'm quite happy. And we'll have to wait and see what happens today. We have a bit of a mismatch because we've had some poor Aussie data overnight. So the retail guys have sold it. And so that would make it a buy. So be careful if you're trading Aussie. Sentimentally, it's a buy, but fundamentally, perhaps not. The PMI data was a miss last night. So be careful with the Australian dollar. So we're at the big picture, we're risk on. For every one person buying, there's 11.7 people trying to short. So we're still quite crowded. It seemed to have peaked around -12, -13, and we didn't get any further than that. And if you look at technicals, we're actually quite overbought on some of the indices as well. The 24-hour difference is telling us that the retail guys are buying, and as soon as that sell went red, it implicated like a topping out on the indices of risk, which is really unfortunate for the retail guys. Not only did they get squished on the way up, when they try and buy the top, price falls. And this is where the risk calculation is pretty amazing. It's very accurate. So keep an eye on that sell up here. That's usually quite a good indication. And here's the bubbles as well. So the euro, they're very long, the euro. So be careful. And yeah, so just be careful with that. You know, I'd probably wait until that gets off that corner. This is like a bully corner where it's basically in the process of stopping everyone out. Likewise, this is a bully corner here. Something comes down here, stops are raided, and then we see a bubble reversal. So we might see something happen, or we should see something happen this week. They can't hold on to this massive drawdown, okay? Unless, of course, they do that hodl thing. And so the yields rose, so that's risk off, and the VIX pumped a lot. It had a really massive pump yesterday. I think it was 8 or 9%. And this is still out of whack. So keep an eye on this 5 and the 10. That's not right. This is an inversion here. We don't want that at all. And so that's risk off. Lots of movement from last week. So look at your dark colours for a buy. Dark green is buy. And there's the US 30, which I put into Discord. So just note that they've actually tried to buy on US 30. So that's why that's a dark red. So be careful. Euro yen, they sold it. However, they probably got paid. You see the euro yen, pound yen, the dollar yen, they're all falling. So things are a little bit out of bonk. And you could probably argue these have to come down anyway, because we really overdid it perhaps on cross yen. And keep an eye on that yen bubble as well. If you're a premium subscriber, keep an eye on that yen bubble. Dollar is on a rampage, but we knew that would be, to be expected. And we've got the Jackson Hole risk event and Powell speech, and we've got PCE data on Friday. We've got PMI data from Eurozone, UK and US today. So we're going to see a big movement on the dollar today and on Friday. And so that's something you just need to subscribe to, the Quasidb system. We've got the trade of the day, and that posted about 7:30, so that's fine. Just that's around 7:30, about half an hour ago I posted it. So reds are sell and greens are buy, but however, what you want to do is see the change over time. Dollar CAD was over here, and then the next day it was here, and then the following day it was here. Right, see how it goes? So we don't necessarily want to see where we are now, but where we're going, where have we come from? And this is why these bulletins might be quite useful, so you can see the development of the sentiment. And I've got a feeling that US 30 is going to come this way. If it does, it's going to be a sell. So it's going to catch quite a few people out. Be careful. S&P, so they went long, and price fell, which should be normal because these guys are counter trend, and there has to be someone else on the other side of the trade. If they buy it, someone has to sell it, and who's that other person? It's an entity that it's got vastly more money than the average retail trader. So if they buy it in bulk, someone has to sell it in bulk. Okay. So maybe a buy here, but they'd have to short it. All right, and that's if ? Likewise, they went long, and whether or not they short it, time will tell. I'll do a 2-minute video after this bulletin, and it should tie into the London Open quite nicely. German 30 they bought, and then they try to buy again, and so it crushes them and destroys them, and it's quite painful to watch, to be honest with you, but it happens time and time again. And gold, they've gone long, however they've shorted it, so this makes it a risky buy because at a high level it's a sell. However, they're shorting it, so that dynamically, if they continue to short it, will come up. So keep an eye on the level where they shorted it. It was 1734. And stop loss cluster update. See, that needs to change. That's no longer undecided. Let me do that quickly. Ugh. Let's see. Right, let's go back. So that's now, that's been changed. So what you want to try and do is get colours to match. See EU, and also note where the stop loss clusters are as well. It's like they just think, I'll put it at a round number, it'll be all right. I can move it if the price gets closer, that's fine, and that's what that tells us. If it's at the round number, they're being quite lazy, right? Price will come close to the stop loss cluster, and then they'll move it a little bit lower. But whether or not it'll work out for them, time will tell. They shorted Aussie, which I said at the very top of the video. They might be right on that. And they shorted the Kiwi as well, and they shorted the dollar. So AU and NU will be quite tricky. And also they shorted the pound, and I think the pound is falling quite heavily. So it might just be one of them skewy weeks. So be careful. I think our trade of the day is going well, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, so if we go risk off and they're selling Aussie and Kiwi, then they might get paid. Well, they should get paid, fundamentally speaking, because these are risky currencies, okay? And they don't perform very well in a risk-off environment. If we're risk-on, these two, they rocket. But if we're risk-off, these don't really do too well. So they might get paid. So just a little caveat there. We try and get things to align, like fundamentals and risk-on, risk-off flows. I won't bother talking about this because you should have seen it by now, but basically there's a change in the Quasidb code after the 1st of September. So the information's there, and I don't want to repeat myself every day, but just, that's the information's there. So get the annual plan while you can. If after the 1st of September, it'll cost you quite a lot of money. A lot more money, should I say. So USD is paying the retail guys right now, and Euro is destroying them. They've gone really long the Euro, and price is falling, so they're getting destroyed on the Euro, and they're getting paid on the dollar, which would be fairly unusual. We should see that a bit higher, so we should see a reversal on the dollar, and we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And also below 50% is unusual. If it's below 50%, don't enter, because it means that the trap's still in being placed. Over 50%, the trap's in, and the majority has been formed, and we should see this about 80% failure rate. And then it's just a typical day for the retail traders. So we did well. Euro USD did well, and the dollar Swiss did well. So that's that, which is quite cool. And we might get some more signals this week. It all depends if the sentiment lines up. It will trigger if we're a strong buy or strong sell. You can see how extreme we are on these currency pairs. Yeah, so the Aussie data wasn't so good. We need it above 50. 50 is like the ballpark figure. And we breached 50, so that's not so good. And that's eyes on this Euro as well, and the pound. And then they've got the dollar. So we might see a reversal here in 6 hours time. So it could be quite painful unless you know where your exit is. I got stopped out on a pound yen. It was just something that I was looking at. And to be honest with you, it's fine being stopped out. You just move on to the next trade, and you don't let it affect you. If you let it affect you, then your next trade, you're going to have that baggage, right? So you need to sort of start afresh, and no one wants that emotional baggage, from a loss. And the trades of the days are going well, so I'm totally up. It was just like a bad trade. It might affect you, but don't let it affect you. And so we could see a reversal here in 6 hours time for this. So be careful, and that's that. So always keep calm and always trade safely, and I can't stress that enough. You've got to do that, and then you'd be kept in the game for the long term. So have a great day, and I think that's it from this bulletin. The API is now working fine. I'm going to be checking if the macro runs at 10 o'clock tonight, which is obviously in 14 hours time, which is going to make it a long day. So I'm going to be taking breaks today and keep an eye on this US data. I've got a feeling we're going to see a reversal. It's going to be horrible. So be careful, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.